First of all, I apologize for not making videos for the last 2 weeks. I was caught up with some personal stuff. I'm back at it again. Gonna make daily videos again for this stock and the stock that I think is gonna have some good momentum. I was covering MULN for a long time now, and because I understand the company, I understand the stock, and I thought, you know, it'll be a good idea to put the information out there for you guys, not to persuade you to sell, hold, or buy. This is definitely just information only, all right, guys? So you got to do your own due diligence. First thing I want to catch up on again is the MULN institutional holdings, okay? This is very important because in my opinion, right, I think there's got to be some level of benchmark that you're looking at and say, okay, if this happens, maybe we're looking at a good momentum or something that would happen in the longer run, right? Right now, institutional holdings are not really, still are not good, all right? It's not good enough. It's 5.85%. This is not a lot, guys. The company that are invested in it are very, very big companies like BlackRock, Vanguard. These are big institutions, right? And they invest in any and every company pretty much because, you know, they're gambling, a little bit of a money allocated for gambling as well. So this is what they do. And with the startup companies, and MULN is sort of a startup, to be honest with you. I know they've been around for a long time, but they haven't really made moves where institutions are really jumping on top of it. If you go to, for example, analyst research, they're not even putting information, like they're not putting any effort into it to analyze and see where the company's head because nobody cares from the institution standpoint. So that's a big thing you got to understand. And I've been saying that from my previous videos as well, that for MULN, the biggest investors is you guys. Okay. Now, and again, when the stock reversed, before the reverse stock split, what I started doing is I started putting down the levels. What was the original value of the stock? I know the reverse stock split and the stock went to like $3 or whatever the case was. But what is the original value? All right. Now, if you would have bought the stock when it was like 13 cents, 14 cents, you know, now you should be in negative right now because right now the current value of the stock is around 2 cents. I'm talking about the original value. I know it says 74 cents here, but original value is 2 cents. And the biggest problem is the information, right? If you go, for example, if you search Google right now, you say MULN stock. Now the news pop up saying MULN Automotive strengthens position in growing EV market. But if you ask me, they're down. Like this right here, this is 13 period EMA and I'm on a daily chart, which means that every candle represents a day. It's a steady decline, okay? And I told you guys, if you check out my videos previously, I said, hey, they're going to do a reverse stock split. Two things are going to happen. The amount of outstanding shares that are out there in the market is going to go down because they're, you know, doing, it was 25-1, right? They're combining 25 shares into one. The outstanding is going to decrease, but the amount of shares they can still sell is going to stay the same. So they just gained, you know, whatever, 2 billion stocks or 3 billion stock at that point. So now that's not good. I don't know why SEC doesn't look at it, because if you do a reverse stock split, your number of authorized shares should also go down. It shouldn't stay the same. You're pretty much making up new shares at that point. You could dilute the stock again. So that's the first problem. The second problem is MULN is going to come down. It's going to come down to the same level it was before, because the problem is reverse stock split does not elevate the company's value from the growth perspective. This is a reverse stock split. So they cosmetically increasing the price because they don't want to fall into that not being able to be traded on this exchange, right? So they need to stay above $1. So they had to do that, right? The problem, and again, any company that does a reverse stock split, that should be a red flag. And if they do 2 or 3, I would say run the other way. All right, do not even stay in the stock. I personally would like to trade, which I've been doing, trading the stock. I'm not invested in the company right now because I do have some levels, which I think if these levels are crossed, you know, where I say, for example, if these levels are crossed, then I could think about going in, and I'd rather, you know, lose some money in terms of the profit perspective. I don't want to be in the position and lose money, because that's hectic, right? You get into the position at $2, for example, now the stock is at 74 cents. Now you're down a lot. I don't like that. What I like is I lose profit. For example, I wait for my level where I want the stock to go. And if it goes above that, this is where I get in. I know I lost some money. This is how I make money every day. I wait, all right? I'm not greedy, all right? It's every day. Market opens up every day, okay? And people out here trying to gamble and trying to make money in one shot. If I'm making $100 or $200 a day, I'm good, okay? I think that's more than, sometimes, you know, it's $50. Sometimes it's $100. Sometimes it's $500. Sometimes it's $600. At the end of the day, market opens up every day and people are just too greedy trying to make that big buck. listen to all these people on the YouTube and like, oh, $10,000 in a day, 20,000. Okay, well, I'm not in it for that, right? I'm in it for a long run. Okay, I want to be able to pay my bills through a stock market, and market will take your money if you let it. All right. So with that being said, now the stock is coming down and it's going to keep coming down. As I said, I don't think it's going to revive anytime soon. I think they're still going to come down to 30 cents, 20 cents, and potentially 10 cents again. And they're going to do another reverse stock split unless you get big institutions come into play with Mullen. All right, guys. So you guys are the investors. Have your own due diligence. Do not just fall for the news. Do not fall for people just saying, this article right here, for example, you can listen to this and say, oh, I got to invest. And this article came up on May 31st. And look what happened. The stock went and had a red candle the same day. It didn't even have like a green candle. I know they have a green candle, but there's not a lot of volume here that you say, okay, the stock is going to jump up. So again, there's a lot of supply levels now, which means that it has to cross all these levels before it can make a move. So guys, always do your due diligence, and I'll be making videos for you guys. I'll be bringing to you all the news that I can. Hope you guys are liking these videos, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.